Hey traders, hopefully you guys are well. I'm going to talk about a little magic internet money today. Let's talk about the one key level going forward. So that is $37,253.50. I'm going to tell you guys why that level is most important here in just a little bit. Let's unpack this move down. We'll unpack the move up, and then we will go into potential scenarios and triggers for trades because as you guys know, what we say here is don't be bullish, don't be bearish, just take the best trades. So let's talk about what the best trades could be. Now, the move down, okay? So move down was really easy, guys. If you guys remember, this was the level I said that we needed to stay above. Obviously, Bitcoin did get above it. I guess Michael Saylor bought a bunch of Bitcoin here, Giga chatted it up, and this actually I took quite a few longs off of until it gave. And once this gave, you can see the SR flip and down you go. You're back in the range, and you can expect to see the POC and maybe even a full cycle, which eventually you did see, and then some, right? So the move down was really easy. You had your swing failure pattern here. You had another swing failure pattern right here. Okay, so like there were plenty of opportunities to get short in this entire move down. So if you guys are in the group, and I'm not rubbing anyone's nose in it, you guys saw me close a few trades anywhere from 170 to 400% gains, and then I got out of all my shorts today upon range re-entry. So let's talk about that. This is the move down we were looking for. If we go over to the old Twitter, we will take a look at this chart right here. It actually used to be pinned on my profile for the longest time, so not trying to tell you guys to pay better attention, but if we lose $43,000, we will challenge this low. That is the B leg. Let's take a look at the B leg here at $28,829.50, and you can see that is exactly what we swept today, so very nice. We have seen something very similar before. I'm going to switch to log. It's just easier to scroll through past price action in log scale, and we're going to move over to a daily time frame. So let's talk about this. I've been comparing it to this. I believe this is what I was looking for here. Been looking at this as a potential fractal, and it's not necessarily to trade an exact fractal. It's just an idea that we would have swept the lows, created a divergence, and then up we go. And I mentioned it to you guys in the last couple of videos. And so if we take a look at sweeping the lows, though, have we done that? Absolutely we have. And we swept the lows and then up. Okay, so everybody's probably looking at this as like a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder, like a really terrible shoulder here. And then everyone got bearish and up we went. But in the large scheme of things, you had your high, your low, well, your first lower low, then a lower high, then a lower low. Then this technically was a lower high, even though it was only $10. And then obviously we made a lower low, a much lower low. So just something to bear in mind that market structure is still really important here, guys. We've come down, we've swept the lows. We've got a great reaction off of it. $33,386.50 was a really key level to get above, if you guys recall. We'll move one of these guys right here. This was your swing failure pattern, or that initiated the final move down. If you guys remember, that's what we were looking for. Was loss of this level was bearish, and we moved down. And this is the first level of interest. I was still short riding into this, just taking profits at 29.2. I did get out of my short once this level was regained right here, the range. I saw the swing failure pattern happening. We go over to our structural ranges. This was from the December breakout range, and you can see that once we regained the range, it was just kind of one of those things where I exited my short, and I just told everybody I'm going to look for the next clean setup. I have taken some entries down in this region towards the low of the range on retest. The entry is really light. I'll be honest with you guys. I haven't really committed a whole lot of capital to it just yet, for better or worse there, because I'd like to see a few more bullish things happen before I enter any kind of a swing long with any kind of a position that's going to put a lot of my capital in the market right now. Okay, so confirmation of 33,386.50 is the first step. From there, we are looking to the June open. And so the June open would be a big deal to get above, as we've talked about, because if we were to get above the June open here, okay, so let's get rid of everything but the June open and the monthly time frame right here. So these are your two levels on the chart, 37,253 and 58,822. If you could flip this green by the end of the month, you could potentially create a nice range, right? If you could get that range going, it wouldn't necessarily be bullish. It wouldn't be bearish either. But then if you recall, we did have a very wide range in this region where it went sideways and down kind of. So the area of most interest right now is about $50,000, not just from a Fibonacci standpoint. Let's get a log here. Not just from a Fibonacci standpoint, but if we go over to like our yearly range, which gets things really well right now because the yearly range does come in at the structure. You can see the median comes in this region as well. So that $52,000 level, that was really big support for us. There was a couple daily levels we'd established there. It's going to be just as important going up. All right, so just something to keep in mind as price progresses, especially if we get above $37,000. I do think that more than likely at that point you could almost look at this, and you guys know me, I don't like to pattern trade too much. This would be a very nice double bottom. Okay, so potential for a double bottom. Okay, with the neckline at $40,622, which ironically is the old NPOC from this range. I find hilarious because we did tag that on our way up, but it was a target when we were trading down in this region. We were talking about that $40,600 level. So old levels always come back. What can we say? But yeah, so $50,000 is a level that would be of interest. If you recall in the last video, we were talking about $45,000 where that 0.5 is. The reason I'm not looking at that as much now is I was hoping to get up there sooner, and that would have been a very quick move into that region. And for me, that would have been a really nice short. Just the overall timing and speed of the move would have given me that, but otherwise I would be looking up higher to this golden pocket. And that's just where I'm at on it right now. Now, do not forget your high value nodes right around 49K, and another one coming in here right around like 47-ish. So this isn't an area I'm really looking to get involved in long-wise. I do think that this would be a much better shorting region than it would be a longing region. I know that's kind of stupid and very easy and rudimentary, but you'd be surprised with people. Just like this isn't an area for shorts. Okay, so you want to see a confirmation of breakdown and volume coming in before you call this a head and shoulders. A lot can happen, and so we've been talking about this potentially coming down, making that lower low, creating those divergences like on the daily time frame here. So if we take a look, you will notice, oh, I got my brush on, sorry. Get rid of these. You'll start making the divergences that we've been so sought after on high time frames. And it doesn't necessarily mean Bitcoin's going to all-time highs. What it means is that at least a challenge into the June open before expiration is probably likely. From there, we need to evaluate and figure out what's going on. So the June open is important for numerous reasons, and it's not just the yearly value area low sitting above it. But if we go over to our POC for the entire range, and I like to use ATAS for this, you will notice about $37,000 as the range point of control. So there is some interesting volume profile coming in there. And then if we come up to our key levels, you will notice that we've had this level on our chart for a little bit now, 37,399.50. So not only do we have horizontal resistance, we've got a big monthly open there. We've got the volume point of control of this entire range, and then the yearly value area low coming in just above it. So to me, this is a big level to flip, that 37K region. I would say 37,000 to 37,400, that little $400 window right there. Really want to see Bitcoin come up to it, get above it, and then flip it, right? We want to see Bitcoin flip it, or at least not completely break down off of it. We want to see that happen if you're looking for higher prices, because you can get some pretty nice retraces to the upside regardless. Now, zooming into the low time frames here, guys, we'll go ahead and I'll take a look at that stuff for you. We are going to look at our weekly range and our monthly range just to see how things are shaping up on the low time frames. Very, very simple, very easy. None of this stuff's overly complicated. It's just all about being organized. That's actually the hardest part for most traders. They get analysis paralysis. So we zoom out first, and then we come to our low time frames and decide if there is any kind of invalidation or anything that we should be considering. And when we look at our weekly and monthly time frames here, maybe we do. Let's get rid of my weekly so that I can get my monthly time frame adjusted. It is adjusted, okay. Just wanted to make sure it was adjusted. You can see that we are well within the monthly range and that our $36,000 level is the POC there. So I would expect us to come up here and at least challenge into this like, you know, $36,000, $37,000 area. I'm really looking more for like 37. But it just kind of confirms that if we come up here, we probably will see some form of a rejection. Get that rejection. If we could form a higher low, I would expect a full cycle of the range almost coming up into this key 3-day level. So if we can get up into this region, actually challenge that area and flip this box right here, I guess this is what we'll call it. We'll just put this on there and I'll keep that box. Would really like to see this level flipped. If we can flip this level, I do think that we could be poised for at least some form of a relief rally, and we can judge it from there. So I hope this is helpful for you guys. Not really trying to be too forward with the price action right now. Really just taking it for what it is. Do have a small long. I've closed the shorts just because we're at macro support, and this was kind of the idea and trade plan for a while now. Is once we get to this level, evaluate and see what happens. So long term, you guys know that I am looking at the potential for $15,000. And that's a very, very controversial number to bring up because everybody thinks 20K is low, but I think we would probably find our way down to 15 at that point. It's not, I like saying it to people because it's one of those things where I like to get the reaction to see, and a lot of people don't think it's possible. So to me, it just kind of validates the TA just a little bit. That is a target. It's a legit target too. But lots of things going on in crypto right now, lots of things going on in the overall market that's going to play quite a role in where this goes from here. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. This was kind of a lackluster update. It's just something I'm going to get you guys updates every now and then. If you follow me on TikTok and you found your way to this video, thank you so much. I will get you guys videos pretty frequently.